All of us know that one person who is obsessed with conspiracy theories, the type of person who believes that the COVID vaccine is part of Bill Gates' master plan to depopulate Earth and track us all. But for the majority, we never really entertain these kind of theories. We laugh at flat earthers and we shake our head at climate deniers because they all seem so radical and crazy and devoid of any sense of reality. I mean, they feel inherently conspiracy-like. They go against the science and they feel almost satirical, like they're a parody in themselves. It's like you've walked into a really poorly attended and under-budgeted comedy club. No one takes it seriously. But with QAnon, it's very different. People really get sucked into these set of beliefs, and although it is ludicrously fabricated and devoid of reality, I do kind of get it. So for those who have got the pleasure of never coming across QAnon before, it all started after an anonymous user, whose obviously name is Q, posted a thread onto 4chan, and he claimed to be a high-ranking government insider with access to classified information. And whilst the original post has been deleted, like anything on the internet, if you try hard enough, you can find it. And this post is filled with just a slew of disjointed questions and abbreviations and cryptic statements, and it jumps from North Korea to Donald Trump to Hollywood to just all these very seemingly unrelated topics. And you can kind of imagine a person frantically typing away, you know, hidden behind a black hoodie, sat in some kind of shady internet cafe thinking that they are doing a public service to the world and that they're shedding light onto this big secret. And so that secret is, according to QAnon followers, that the world is being run by a secret political clique, if you like, a cabal of Satan-worshipping, cannibalistic pedophiles who operate a global child trafficking network. And the people that are involved in this network range from top Democrats like Hillary Clinton to celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, and even religious figures including the Dalai Lama and, yes, Pope Francis. So many followers of QAnon not only believe that these people sexually molest children, but that they also eat them. And the reason why they do this is so that they consume what QAnon followers describe as a life-extending chemical called adrenochrome. QAnon has also developed on this really ludicrous and fabricated belief in a way that appeals to America's far right. So QAnon says that former President Donald Trump is the world's savior. He is a messiah almost, because according to the theory, Trump was actually recruited by the military in order to become president and basically bring down this cabal of cannibalistic pedophiles. And whilst QAnon still has that very conspiracy feel to it, there is an element of the truth, and it enmeshes that truth with all of its crazy in a way that really just suck you in. And actually, despite the fact that I was in utter disbelief at how insane this theory is, and kind of, you know, doubting my faith in humanity that people follow this kind of cult theory, I kind of also empathize with them, because at its very core, QAnon does offer a slight grain of truth. You know, we all know that Jeffrey Epstein owned a private bolt hole in the Caribbean, and locals referred to this as the pedophile island. And it's easy to believe that a man with so much power and wealth used his status to abuse others. And it's easy to believe that the elite are above the law, and that they buy their way out of any tricky situations. And so, dare I say it, the very, very core of QAnon does contain a grain of truth. And it is when you nod to that acceptance that it can really suck you in. But obviously that is the only part of QAnon that I can kind of get behind. the distrust in the government, the idea that the elite and the 1% of the 1% can abuse their power and their status. I don't think that that's conspiracy-like. I think we all know that that is the reality of the world we live in. But suggesting that we have this network of underground tunnels and that Oprah Winfrey and Tom Cruise and Barack Obama are part of this child-eating cult is just so insane. And it just gets crazier and crazier. So a lot of QAnon followers also claim that Michelle Obama is a man, that she is not actually a woman, and that she eats children. All of this kind of really insane rhetoric, which on the surface why would you buy into? But then if you have experienced the reality of people abusing their power, and you do have an issue with the way that the government is run, I kind of understand why you would buy into it. And I think that's a scary thing, because QAnon has been one of the only conspiracy theories that have resulted in really deadly consequences in the real life. QAnon is no longer just an online forum. It has real action. And when the Capitol was stormed by Trump protesters last year, we saw the Q symbol etched onto a lot of the people's kind of like hoodies. And we see people murder in the name of QAnon. And I think there is a danger that with the internet and with our current distrust in the elite and in our government, that we are going to see these kind of theories cropping up over and over again. The scariest thing is that whilst we have this distrust in our government, and whilst we have the elite which do abuse their power, we are gonna only see these kind of theories keep popping up into the mainstream, and with it garner an even bigger cult, an even bigger following. And I'm scared for how that will actually pan out.